This is the first time I speak of it publicly. I broke my neck.
This is Mint. At 20, Mint becomes the founder and owner of Egypt's very first pole dance studio.
I found that pole was changing many people's lives. I had so many different Egyptian women come up to me and tell me stories about how pole was helping them deal with difficulties. So my vision at the very beginning was to bring women in Cairo from different walks of life, to bring them all under one roof where they come together and they really celebrate life, and they celebrate their femininity, and they celebrate their bodies, and they learn what their bodies can do rather than just what their bodies look like.
Mint grew up in Egypt.
Let's be frank, it's a Middle Eastern conservative society. I was the very first girl in our family to travel for education, so that was a bit of a challenge. So when I went to uni, I checked out my university societies, and one of them was pole fitness, which was very, very intriguing. So I went to my very first class and I became super, super addicted. By my second year, I was already teaching and I was very hooked.
Back in Egypt, Mint started inviting friends.
And then they started inviting their friends. And then before I knew it, I had about like 20 to 30 strangers walking in and out of my house every day. And that's when I kind of realized, well, I better open up an actual place. I think this might actually work here. So it happened by accident.
But about a year in, Mint faced her biggest challenge.
My accident wasn't a pole accident. It was a friendly accident playing around, surprisingly enough. I broke my neck when I was shy of 22 years old, and I was the only instructor teaching at the time, so it was only full-time instructor, so it was quite a challenge because there were no other instructors in Egypt. I was the only school. I had already sold, 3 months worth of classes, but I got very lucky because although I had to stop doing pole for a year, I created this resident instructor program. Through that, I started hosting resident instructors that would come and stay, explore Egypt and teach, because obviously I couldn't.
People are quick to assume that society would be Mint's biggest challenge. However,
I haven't experienced any challenges with society, but I think it's more of how I've gone about the business than the fact that there are no challenges in this society. So what I did is I grew inside out. I grew organically. Because of that, it meant that whoever was contacting me and interested in being involved was already of a certain mindset and was already seeing it as something that is very positive and acceptable. The way that I've designed our studio is to work for our culture. We're a ladies-only studio. There are no men that enters our studio.
What advice would you give young entrepreneurs?
Adapt, adapt, adapt. Because you're gonna make plans and they're never gonna work out, and things are gonna change, and the world is gonna change. So just adapt. There are so many things that I thought were a bit ambitious, but turned out to be very real and very possible. It's almost like it made me believe in magic, if you want to say that.